Okay, so on this problem, we have fractions with an equal sign. So that's the main attraction that we're talking about here. Let me put the wall of separation on the equal sign. Okay. And then, so what are the instructions? So when you have fractions with an equal sign, what are you supposed to do about that? Number one, you multiply every term, left and right, by the LCD over 1, and the LCD equals all denominators multiplied together, but no repeats. Okay, so I look and I go, here's my denominator and here's my denominator, right? So that's my focus, that's my aim. That's the first thing I want to do when I have fractions with an equal sign is I want to get rid of the fractions. I don't want the fractions there. I want to get rid of them. So how do you get rid of those fractions? You multiply every term left and right by the LCD over 1, where the LCD is all the denominators multiplied together, but no repeats. So I'm going to say, oh, okay. So I'm going to take 8 times 2 over 1. And right here, 8 times 2. You don't even need to put over 1 because it's not a fraction. And right here, 8 times 2 over 1. I did it in the middle. Let me do a better job there. 8 times, again, that's not 8.2, right? It's not a decimal. I'm multiplying. It's 8 times 2. Are we good there? So I'm multiplying 8 times 2 over 1 to all three. And by the way, a good question, sometimes people ask me about the parentheses. This is all one term, right? This whatever you have something next to parentheses, that's just one term. Terms are separated by pluses and minuses. So there's the separation. Here's the second term, the equal sign. Here's the third term. So they all get one. And then step 2, cross cancel the denoms. Cross cancel the denoms. Multiply the leftovers. Cross cancel the denominators. Multiply the leftovers. So 8 cancels 8. What's left over? 1 parenthesis x minus 1. Oh, and the 2, I'm sorry. 2 times 1. So that should be 2, shouldn't it? Everybody good there? Let me go back. So you cross cancel the denominators and multiply what's left over. So I circled the 2 and circled the 1. Do a better job on circling those. So circle the 2, circle the 1, and then that makes 2 here, doesn't it? Right? 2 times 1 is 2. And then plus, now what happens right here? Well, they just all multiply. 8 times 2 is 16 times x. They're all leftovers because there's no denominators to cancel in the middle there, right? There's no denominators here, are there? There's nothing under a bar. So they're all just multiplied. They're all just leftovers. Multiply 8 times 2 times x, 16x. Over here, cross cancel the denominator, multiply what's left over. 1 times 8 divided by 1. Well, that's just 8, because 8, 1 times 8 is 8, and 8 divided by 1 is still just 8. That's just 8, right? Look at that, no more fractions. See how that gets rid of all the fractions? All right, now you know the rest from here, right? We just distribute through parentheses. Whenever we have a number outside of parentheses, we take that number or a letter or anything, or a negative sign, and you multiply both the things on the inside one at a time. 2x minus 2. Get to there. I just distributed that too. And now these guys right here. Wait, let me do it right. These guys are going to combine. 2x and 16x is 18x. Right? 2x and 16x is 18x. Like that. Okay, and now we're trying to solve for x. You know how to do this, right? Let's keep going. So x is going to want to be alone. So we add 2 to both sides. So notice here, x is on the same side, just combined. That's what I meant to say. X is on the same side, just combined. If you have x's on opposite sides of the equal sign, that's when you do the opposite of one of them to get rid of it. But if the x's are on the same side, they just combine. They just add or subtract or whatever. All right, these cancel. Just doing the opposite. Bring down the 18x equals, and these guys make 10. All right, and the last step, you know the last step, is always to divide by identically what's next to x. Boom, boom. And so x equals 10 over 18. And then we got to reduce that, don't we? Divide top, whenever you reduce, you divide top and bottom by the same thing. So what's that going to be? 5/9. And so there we go. X is 5/9.